Welcome to Make It Rain with Adam Schein on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Oh, yes, Thursday edition of Make It Rain with Adam Schein here on VSiN. And my goodness, we've got an unbelievable show for you today. We've got day ball. We've got all sorts of baseball in progress. We've got Paul Skeens giving up back-to-back homers. We are going to get into our baseball bets from last night, our baseball bets for tonight, our bets as we move along for this afternoon and live action. That's going to be a ton of fun. We will get into all the hockey. And my goodness, last night in the NBA, that was absolutely insane. And listen, we've got a lot to do and a lot to say with regards to the Lakers getting eliminated. And honestly, what a disaster. What a total debacle, a disaster. I mean, this is unacceptable garbage and slop and nonsense, pathetic, atrocious, embarrassing. This was all preventable. What a complete and utter disaster for the Los Angeles Lakers. And look, I'll give credit to Minnesota. Rudy Gobert turned into Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, are you kidding me? 27 points, 24 rebounds on 12 of 15 shooting. How about Rudy Gobert? The reason why the Lakers go home, Gobert turned into Shaq last night. Fifth player in the last 20 seasons with a 25-20 game in the playoffs. The others, Jokic, Giannis, Dirk, Shaq, and Rudy Gobert. Which one doesn't belong? I mean, my goodness, that was absolutely wild. And honestly, I give Minnesota credit. I stayed up. I was tweeting wee hours of the morning. You know, Mike Conley hitting a dagger three. Julius Randle, happy for the former Knick. He was able to get it done, hit some buckets. That was excellent. But even more than crediting Minnesota, because let's be honest here, the Minnesota Timberwolves missed 43s. That's right. They missed 43s and found a way to win the game and eliminate Luka, LeBron, and the LA Lakers. That's a disaster. 7 for 47. 14%. Are you kidding me? That's about as absurd as it gets and still able to win. Anthony Edwards made as many threes as I did. He was over 11 last night. That's crazy. That's wild. And the fact that J.J. Redick didn't play Jackson Hayes is absolutely absurd. I mean, beyond absurd. I mean, I don't want to turn Jackson Hayes into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but you know, we talked about this going into the series. Minnesota had one advantage. They're bigs. So why wouldn't you play your only big? I mean, that's crazy talk. And we talked about this after game one. Gotta see more Jackson Hayes, not less. DNP for Jackson Hayes as you're getting second and third chance opportunities, and Minnesota's just owning you down low and in the paint and rebounding on offense, rebounding on defense. That's a terrible job by J.J. Redick. And how about Reggie Miller saying during the game, you know, he was trying to calm J.J. Redick down during the pregame production meetings. You saw the clip of J.J. Redick walking out of his press conference, scolding the press when they told him that, you know, he needed to talk to his assistant coaches, Scotty Brooks and Nate McMillan, more. My goodness. You know, LeBron was terrible, and it's fair to rip LeBron. And James was 9 of 21, 22 points, missed wide open threes in the fourth quarter. Luka was awful when you take a look at the fourth quarter. He was missing layups. I mean, Reeves was terrible. He was missing layups as well. The only Laker who played above expectation and had consistent energy was Rory Hachimura. Other than that, everybody else should be ashamed, including, by the way, Rob Pelinka, who made the incredible Luka Doncic deal, but they rescinded the Mark Williams deal, and they said he was not healthy enough. And obviously there's a discrepancy because he went on, it's not like he spent the rest of the season in bubble wrap. He went back to Charlotte and put up double-doubles constantly against really good teams like the Celtics and the Pacers, among others down the stretch of the season. If you're a sick Laker fan, go take a look at the stats for Mark Williams and what he did at the end of the year for the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, that is completely unacceptable. So this is a failure. And look, there are smart people VSiN superstar Zach Cohen, who loved this matchup for Minnesota. Let's give credit where credit is due. I thought the Lakers would win. And this is not a brand pick by me. I don't do that. We watch the games. The Lakers survived the insanity down the stretch of the season in the Western Conference. We knew they were relatively diminutive down low after the Davis for Luka deal and the Williams deal was rescinded, but they got the 3 seed. They got the coveted home court. They got a higher seed than Golden State and the Grizzlies and Minnesota and the Clippers and the Nuggets. They earned this. They should be playing not only another game or two, and J.J. Redick not playing his bench cost them game 4, which impacted the fatigue level for game 5. They should be playing a game 6. They should be playing a game 7. They should be playing in the next round. They should have been good enough to play in the Western Conference Finals. What a disaster. What an embarrassment. What a failure. What a joke. What an absolute joke. Now, I do think, for the sake of fairness to this conversation, look at the updated Western Conference odds, and I get it, right? And you know I'm picking the Thunder, and the Thunder have been my team consistently. I'm making rain with Adam Schein all year. Timberwolves now have the second best odds, and I get it. I totally get it. Because today you have to believe that the Timberwolves will be able to beat the winner of the Warriors-Rockets series, and you have to believe that the Clippers-Nuggets winner will absolutely fall in the next round to OKC. So Minnesota, give them credit, but to me it's about Redick failing, LeBron failing, the organization failing with Mark Williams. Reeves could not get it done. I'm tired today. I was up until 1:30 in the morning on the East Coast watching the Lakers absolutely mail it in. Shameful. Shame, 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 shame. LeBron post-game saying, oh, he doesn't want to rip management. Last person to do that was Anthony Davis, and bam, they shipped him out. You know, listen, Lakers should be back. They'll get a big, or they'll go big with someone like Giannis or Kevin Durant. But you never know. It's sports, and the rest of the West is going to get better. And Giannis is going to go west, whether it's Houston or the Spurs or the Lakers or whoever the hell it is, the Clippers, or, we'll find out. Said LeBron's not getting any younger. He's not Benjamin Button, right? I mean, my goodness, absolutely positively crazy talk when you look at the fact that the Lakers, one thing to lose. It's another thing to embarrass yourself in the organization. That's a terrible job by J.J. Redick. He is responsible here for the Minnesota Timberwolves blasting Los Angeles out of the playoffs in 5 games. Speaking of blasting, how about the Rockets? Are you kidding me? And forget even the final score. This was even more lopsided. Steve Kerr smartly emptied the bench in the third quarter because this game was chippy. This game was over. Van Vliet was tremendous. Amin Thompson was awesome. And Ime Udoka's team did not want to go home. I give them credit. I loved the Warriors with the points at 4.5 last night. Clearly, that was not the case. And, when Houston gets a star next year, they're going to be a force. They're still a year away. There's no doubt in my mind. And listen, I think that Golden State is still going to find a way and win this series. I still think that they're going to win Game 6 at home. If it's not Game 6, I think it'll be Game 7. They were a heavy favorite for a reason. But Steph did hurt his thumb, and Butler didn't look great. And, you saw Golden State absolutely lay an egg. Houston will have some fake, real confidence on that teeter-totter of, what's between the ears and what's actually a figment of their imagination. But, boy, I'll tell you, I really, at the end of the day, was repulsed with this effort from Golden State, but still believe the Warriors will be able to win this series in 6, as we predicted. My Knicks are looking to close out their series against the Pistons, and honestly, I am stunned, and I've been stunned this whole time how much Vegas favors the Knicks. Now, Detroit's favored in this game tonight, which feels right, but even right now, the series winner odds, Knicks minus 500, Pistons 380. I mean, I don't get it. I really do not get it. I trust Detroit more. The Knicks, Tom Thibodeau not calling that timeout was absolutely repulsive. Knicks' energy has been up and down, inconsistent throughout the course of this series. Detroit has played like a house on fire at home. Last time they were at home, obviously they got robbed at the end of game number 4. So the energy in that building is going to be absolutely off the charts. There's no question about that. Look at some notable player props for tonight. I think the stars absolutely come to play. My favorite prop on the board, and I like a lot of them, is Karl Anthony Towns over 22.5 at minus 125. The big bodega can have a big night tonight for the New York Knicks. Nuggets looking to close out their series against the Clippers tonight. And, right now you can get the Clippers at plus 155. I would take that action, absolutely. I also would not touch this game in terms of the point spread. If I had a lean, it would be to grab the points with the Nuggets. I do like the Clippers to win tonight. I think that LA is too talented. I think that LA is too well coached. James Harden is historically an atrocious playoff performer. He's been so great for this team, regular season, postseason, up until game number 5. This is always dangerous as we look at the notable player props for tonight. You have to imagine, this is the educated guess on recent precedent, not history, recent precedent. You will get the great James Harden tonight. So there are a lot of good props here, right? I do like the on DraftKings, the combined over for points, assists, and rebounds for Kawhi. But my personal favorite on this board is over 21.5 for James Harden at minus 105. That, to me, is the smarts and the savvy play. I think this game is going to be terrific. This series has been off the charts. I can't get enough. And I think that you're going to see the LA Clippers, when it's all said and done, take care of business and get a dub tonight.
You're watching Make It Rain on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Quarter bets start here and last all year long with VSiN Pro. For a limited time, we're slashing the price of our annual subscription. Normally $240, now it's just $199 when you sign up today. We're going to throw in 2 extra months for free. That's 14 months of the VSiN Pro access for less than 50 cents a day when you use the promo code PRO. Get 14 months of access to our daily best bets with the VSiN hosts and guests, exclusive splits from DraftKings and Circa, 24/7 live video and full show replays on the VSiN Watch app, plus our special edition betting guides like our new Kentucky Derby betting guide. Head on over to VSiN.com/subscribe right now. Use the promo code PRO. Lock in 14 months of the VSiN Pro for just $199. That's VSIN.com/subscribe. Welcome back, Make It Rain with Adam Schein. And we've got some day baseball today as it's time to shine on baseball. One game in the books. How about it? The Chicago Cubs blasted Paul Skeens today. Happy Paul Skeens Day? Not so much if you're a fan of the Pittsburgh Pirates. How about Skeens giving up back-to-back home runs today? He gave up 3 runs, walked 4 in 5 innings pitched for Mr. Paul Skeens. How about Tucker? Are you kidding me? Kyle Tucker. Listen, I hope the Cubs screw this up. I want Kyle Tucker on my Yankees in the worst possible way. But Tucker and Suzuki go back-to-back hitting bombs. And Kyle Tucker, just an incredible season. Another day, another home run. Great stuff here when you look at it for the Chicago Cubs. Don't look now, but the Mets might end up losing a series. The Arizona Diamondbacks are taking it to the Mets again today on the heels of Corbin Burns working his magic yesterday. 3-1 in the 7th. 3-1 in the 7th inning. A great weather day in New York today. Great day for some day ball. Not so much if you're a fan here, of course, of the New York Mets, as the New York Mets are losing as we speak by a score of 3-1. It is noteworthy, though, from a Mets perspective, Juan Soto went yard today. Juan Soto went yard. First Juan, as the Mets tweeted out, at Citi Field. First home dinger for the Mets superstar. How about my Kansas City Royals? All we do is win. And by we, I mean anyone, my hand's raised. If you bet on the Royals to win the division before the season started. Another day, more gem from Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt Jr. with a homer. Royals leading the race by a score of 7-2. 7-2 in the 8th inning. I know you've all been asking for an update on the Guardians and the Twins. Well, that's what we do here at Make It Rain with Adam Schein. We give you an update on the Guardians and the Twins. And you know the famous line from Bull Durham, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes it rains. And it's raining in Cleveland right now. 6th inning, 2-0. The Guards currently leading the hapless Minnesota Twins. Speaking of hapless, the White Sox are in action today. The Chicago White Sox are leading the Brew Crew. That's right, leading the Brew Crew. About to start the 5th inning. It is 1-0. I mean, you have to be a true baseball fan you must have bet the under for whatever reason. 1-0. The Chicago White Sox are leading the Milwaukee Brewers, and we have the A's and the Rangers. That one is in the 3rd inning. The A's, they're always going to be the Oakland A's to me. 1-0 leading the Rangers. Here's an interesting nugget, and I picked the Rangers to win the American League. You know the Rangers have the lowest amount of runs scored in the AL. That's crazy to me. I mean, they're in the Colorado Rockies range when it comes to the bottom of the basement and the barrel when it comes to runs scored in baseball this season. So that's where we're at right now with the Rangers and the A's and day ball, baby. And that's what we have for the afternoon Make It Rain with Adam Schein baseball updates. Nothing like betting on baseball in general. Nothing like betting on baseball on a nice afternoon. Making sure you get a little distraction from your day and from work. And buckle up, Buttercup. Always good stuff. Anybody have a broom? Anybody have a broom? How about the Dodgers busting out the brooms and they sweep away the Miami Marlins? And listen, I'm going to make a big deal about this. I know the Marlins are terrible. I mean, the payroll discrepancy here is obviously significant. I don't care. Dodgers have put a couple of big-time pitchers, Snell and Glasnow, on the injured list. So anytime you could keep the line moving when it comes to the Dodgers, that's always a huge positive as everybody gets back and healthy here for Los Angeles. Orioles take a series from my New York Yankees, and the Orioles have been struggling mightily. So this was not good news for my Yankees. And by the way, this is going to be Yankee baseball this year. They're going to win between 86 and 92 games. This is why I said never touch it in terms of the over for this season. I know a lot of people like them. They'll be in the mix for the division. They'll be in the mix for the World Series. There's no team to beat in the American League. So the Orioles were able to win last night, a close competitive game. This American League East is going to be just a jumbled mess all season long, which is going to be fun if you are a fan, not so much if you are a bettor. I mean, look at those odds. And Yankees still the favorite. I could wrap my brain around it. Orioles still have the longest odds to ultimately win the division. Vegas loved the Orioles preseason. I could never, ever figure out why. All rise. No, really. Stand up. I've got my eye on anyone who's not standing. My guy Sean in the Vegas studios, our incredible audio director of professional services for Make It Rain with Adam Schein. Stand up, Sean. Let's go. All rise. Aaron Judge, another day. More just incredible offense. He has turned into Ted Williams meets Barry Bonds. I mean, this cat's a freak. 3 for 3. Another day, another homer. He enters May. It's May 1st today. He's batting .427. You remember last year at this time, Judge was under 200? Under 200? Like, I know the playoff struggles are real, right? It's a topic for conversation. He's become Lamar Jackson. He's become James Harden. I get it, right? But let's just take a minute like Lamar, the numbers and domination that he puts up in the regular season and how he does it. Can we acknowledge what Judge is doing? I mean, .427 at the dish, 10 homers, 32 RBI, 1.282 OPS. And just look at the odds today on May 1st for the AL MVP. It's minus 650 for Aaron Judge. Like, it's crazy. And it's legit. And he is having another season for the ages. And it needs to be talked about. As someone who openly roots against the Red Sox, even though I picked them to win the division this year, how about the Blue Jays storming back from down 6 to walk it off against Boston? Alejandro Kirk with a game-ending bases-loaded single in the 10th, and the Blue Jays overcame a 6-run deficit to beat Boston 7-6 in Lucas Giolito's return. It snapped a 3-game losing streak, and that makes me happy. And that'll lead us into tonight with the Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox. They are going to keep going, and obviously that is always fun when you see these two teams get together. And I'll take the Blue Jays tonight once again at the Rogers Center. Tigers, Angels. And listen, Detroit has been a juggernaut this year. Relatively speaking, in the American League, and their odds are excellent when you take a look at it. So really incredible stuff when you look at it from a Tiger standpoint. I mean, minus 130 on the road against the Angels. I mean, do I like that bet? Of course I like that bet. So that's obviously one. And the Angels have been better than advertised this year, but A.J. Hinch has just done such a superb job with this baseball team. Have to believe that the Tigers are a solid play tonight at minus 130. And finally, we got the Rockies and the Giants. And you know what they say. When these two clubs get together, you throw everything out the window. Or you throw something at your TV. I mean, can you imagine being a fan of the Colorado Rockies? Could you imagine? This is a 4-win fiasco. This team is an embarrassment, a disgrace to society. You got the dopey owner of the team lamenting the fact that the Dodgers spend all this money. Well, I don't know. Maybe you should field a real baseball team. Maybe you should try and win a division at one point over the last 30 years of ownership. It's a joke. You know, Justin Verlander has not exactly been the Astros or Tigers version for the San Francisco Giants to start this season, and he's on the bump tonight. There's a real part of me, there's a real part of me that wants to take the Colorado Rockies tonight, just under the YOLO umbrella. I don't know. I'll tweet it out if I feel like I need something to do if the Knicks ultimately lose Game 6. I mean, at some point on law of averages, right? Rockies have to be able to stumble into a win like this. I mean, come on. It's crazy talk. Giants are for real, though. This team can hit. This team can pitch. This team is underrated. This team is undervalued. I think, if anything, you take the Giants on the run line because the Colorado Rockies are a complete and utter disgrace and an embarrassment to Major League Baseball.
You're watching Make It Rain on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Whether you're placing your first bet or you've been playing the old ponies for years, VSiN's Kentucky Derby betting guide is everything you need to get ahead on Derby Day. Inside the guide, you're going to find a clear breakdown of how to bet on horse racing. Great for beginners. Detailed previews of both the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oats. Best bets from the top racing experts to help serious bettors cash in. The guide is yours with a VSiN Pro subscription. Start today at just $9.99 and get your first 30 days of VSiN Pro, including the Derby Guide, daily best bets, exclusive betting splits, and more. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe. Welcome back. Make It Rain with Adam Schein. Joining us right now live on the Progressive Guest Line. You know him, you love him, you can't live without him. Our guy, Patrick Meagher, the critically acclaimed host of VSiN Live on MadDogSportsRadio. Patty and the big guy. Patrick, how are you?
Conundrum, Adam Schein. Game 6 tonight in Detroit. Your Knicks, my Pistons. We'll talk about it. But then Game 7 on Saturday. A mutual friend of ours has season tickets. He says if the Pistons win tonight, you have to book your ticket and fly out to New York City. Well, it's Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. The game is played on Saturday. You tell me what to do.
Wow. I am usually of the opinion that less is more in terms of disrupting your life. But in this case, more is more. And it's the scheduling gods. And if the Pistons win, you're going to be so giddy. Knicks are going to be wound tight. You can fly out Friday night right after a sizzling edition of VSiN Live on Mad Dog Sports Radio after you and the big guy wrap up. You can enjoy a nice day in the city on Saturday. Go to the Garden, fly back Sunday, and then you're back in studio for Patty and the big guy, VSiN Live on Mad Dog Sports Radio. So I think if your squad wins tonight, you absolutely do it. Don't think, just do it, Patty.
Well, the Knicks are going to make the decision for me because they're going to win tonight. And I also will say, Michael, Adam, and Patrick, we all know somebody named Steve Cohen, and he's got me on VSiN's Kentucky Derby coverage on Saturday. So that eradicates any opportunity of me going to New York City. Let's move on to the game. Listen, your Knicks, to say they were uninspired in Game 5 is disrespectful to uninspired, but I think the difference here was, of course, Hart and Brunson being off the floor in clutch time. Another thing, Adam, in Game 5, they hit just 59% of their free throws. They had been good at hitting free throws. This is razor thin as far as the margins. The Knicks are better. It's been a great year for the Pistons. I love Duren. Obviously, I love Cade. I think the Knicks catching 1.5 points, they get it done, and the Pistons will flourish next year.
Listen, I agree with you on Detroit for next year. I think you're probably right. My confidence level in my Knicks is not there. I think that the joint's going to be jumping tonight. I think the Pistons' energy will be better than the Knicks to start. I think Detroit has come a long way in terms of how to play in the fourth quarter of these games. I think the fact that it's the first time back at home since your team got robbed, and listen, you know, there are other ways and places you could have won the game, but you got robbed, and we tweeted that instantly even before the NBA said, yes, there was a foul, Hart with Hardaway. So, listen, I'm fascinated by your confidence on this, Patrick. I don't share your joy and jubilation when it comes to my Knicks, but I hope you're right. Well, I'm not betting this game in terms of the winner with the points. I'll make a play with Cat going over. I think he'll rock and roll. So we'll see. But again, if you would have told me you were doing the VSiN Pony Show, I wouldn't have even remotely suggested that you fly out. I mean, the only thing that's more important than your happiness is making sure that you're ready to rock and roll with all the incredible coverage we have for the Kentucky Derby. So I know that you have your pick in. I know that you are ready to rock and roll. So I know you got a sleeper here for the Derby. Who we got?
Well, first off, Journalism is the morning line favorite, and Adam, he is the best horse in the field of 20. But the connections in the horse have more pressure on them than Bill Belichick promoting a book. Okay, we haven't seen the morning line favorite win since 2018 and Justify. I'm going to go with a bit of a sleeper here. You see it on the screen, the 4-horse Rodriguez. The connections are immaculate. Bob Baffert, Silver Fox, you guys know him. Mike Smith, one of the great jockeys of all time. And his sire, Rodriguez's sire, is Authentic, who did win the Kentucky Derby. Now, he's breaking out of the 4-hole. Something important for novice horse racing fans to understand. None of these horses have run in field sizes this big. They've never run against 20 other horses. They've never gone 1.25 miles. So the game is completely different. Rodriguez possesses one thing, Adam, out of the 4-hole, and that is speed. If he gets out in front in a clean break, I think he can go wire to wire. I like Rodriguez 4 to win it. Now, I do have a trifecta for you if you'd like it.
Give it to me, Patty.
All right. So, Rodriguez, win bet, have some fun with it. But let's go here. Sovereignty. Sovereignty is right now, the number is ridiculous at 10-1. I think this is the second best horse in the race. Bill Mott's an all-time trainer, a powerful late finisher. Journalism will place here. Okay, so Rodriguez gets out in front, the 4-horse. And then Journalism takes control of the race midway through. And then Sovereignty, with the late kick, comes and closes out the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. So what do we have, Adam? We've got the 18 over the 8, over the 4. Get rich.
18 over the 8, over the 4. All right. If that's Patty's trifecta, that'll officially be the Make It Rain with Adam Schein trifecta. It's as simple as that. And we'll be locked into all your shows coming up this weekend for the Kentucky Derby, because the chance of you going to Madison Square Garden now are officially zero. There's no shot. Now we mentioned
may I
the
ask you, are you will
Yeah.
you and your son be there for Game 7?
No. He's got a baseball game, so, and I don't know. Maybe I should get over it. I don't know if I'm ready to take him to a Game 7 with the risk reward upside downside. I don't know yet. I don't know. I probably, if he didn't have a baseball game, you could twist my arm, Patty, but I don't know. So, unfortunately,
who's his favorite Nick?
Oh, Brunson. Loves Brunson obsessed.
I love him.
Brunson obsessed.
It's a good job.
Yeah, without question. Nuggets Clippers. Fascinated by this one tonight. I said if I had a lean, it would be Denver with the points. I do think the Clippers win. I do like Harden in terms of the over for his points. What do you plays with the Clippers and the Nuggets tonight?
Simpatico. I do like the 6.5. I think it's too much to give the Nuggets. Murray, Gordon, and Westbrook off the bench are the keys here because you know Jokic, Adam. He leads the series in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. He's otherworldly. However, Murray, Gordon, and Westbrook were all great in Game 5. The one thing I would say about the Clippers have the better roster. Of course, they have better depth, but you would agree that Game 5 performance was apathetic. Like, is Kawhi alive? Did Harden go to the club? Can we trust these two? It's almost like Ty Lue's in a catch-22 because he can't coach the guys, can't motivate them. You don't know what you're getting from the Clippers. I know what I'm getting from the Nuggets. I'll take the 6.5. You're probably right. We probably see a Game 7, but I think the number's too heavy for Jokic and the Nuggets.
I echo that. I do think Denver will keep it close. I'd be stunned if they get run out of the gymnasium tonight, which all of a sudden has become a legit home court for the LA Clippers, which is cool to see on a lot of different levels. And Patty, I want to get ahead here with the Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know I'm obsessed with the Cavs winning the Eastern Conference. We've been saying that for a while. I do think this series is going to be excellent. And when I say that, I just have a lot of respect for Indiana. I don't think they're going to get run out of games or run out of the series. You know, maybe Cleveland in 5 or 6. What are you thinking for this weekend? What are you thinking for the series?
First off, Tyrese's dad. What a disaster.
Oh,
you have a son.
Disaster.
Are you going to act like that? I don't think so.
No.
Giannis is going to be playing somewhere else next year. It's going to be fascinating. Maybe your Knicks. Karl Anthony Towns, Josh Hart, and Mikal Bridges. Does Milwaukee say no? Having said that, Indiana's been a great team. I like Indiana. I think Cleveland's special. And specifically in Game 1, I think 7.5 is too light. Cleveland's going to win this series. Cleveland's going to win the East. And Cleveland is going to win by doubles in Game 1. Adam Schein.
Yeah, we're on the same page. I think that Cleveland wins by 10 to 14 points in game number 1. I think that every single game they play, it's just a reminder to the haters and the critics and the media elites that they should be the favorite to win the Eastern Conference. So we are absolutely on the same page. I would tell you good luck tonight, but I wouldn't mean it. I would tell you have fun at the Garden, but you won't be there because you're going to be on the Kentucky Derby coverage. So, Patty, screw you. Moral of the story, screw you.
Screw Steve Cohen.
You're watching Make It Rain on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Derby Day is almost here, so why not make your first bet your best bet? What a concept. Your first bet. You can wager on Churchill Downs, Belmont Park, and tracks all around the world, all from your phone. Go to firstbet.com. That's number 1, stbed.com. Enter the promo code VSiN200 for a $200 sign-up bonus. Don't miss out. Bet smarter on the Derby with firstbets.com. Welcome back. Make it rain with Adam Schein. Day baseball, baby. That's where we start with our news, notes, nuggets, and, of course, our nightly plays. And we are in the top of the 9th inning in New York. And the Mets are in some trouble. 4-2 Arizona. 4-2. The Arizona Diamondbacks are leading the New York Mets. That, of course, is at beautiful Citi Field. Really is a beautiful ballpark. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Mets historically, before Steve Cohen, not our Steve Cohen, the Mets Steve Cohen, bought the baseball team. They used to be under the Wilpons, just a mess of an organization. Not now, not anymore. And Citi Field is a gem, absolute gem of a ballpark. Bottom of the ninth in Tampa. Are the Rays going to come back? No, they're not. 8-2 Kansas City. Bobby Witt Jr. hit a homer earlier. Don't look now, but my Royals bet's looking pretty strong. 8-2. The Royals leading your Tampa Rays. Twins, Guardians. We are in the top of the eighth, and don't call it a comeback. The Minnesota Twins. They have tied up the ball game. In fact, in Vegas, they are favored. Which kind of makes me want to bet the Guardians at plus 110 because I just don't think the Minnesota Twins are any good. So there's that. Then, of course, we have the White Sox and the Milwaukee Brewers. And if you like runs, this is not your game. 1-0. The Chicago White Sox are leading the Milwaukee Brewers. Think about how many times in afternoon baseball betting last year the White Sox were minus 175 at any point in any game on the money line. I mean, they were the worst team in the history of baseball, arguably, last year. So we'll keep you updated on that one. And the A's are leading the Rangers. I mentioned before the Rangers, who I picked to go to the World Series out of the American League before the season started. They are the worst team in the American League when it comes to runs scored. 1-0. A's against the Rangers. That is gross. Let's do that hockey. How about the Carolina Panthers advancing to the second round? I got this one all wrong. Absolutely all wrong. The Florida Panthers, I said Carolina with football in the brain. Florida Panthers advanced to the second round, beating the Tampa Lightning. And listen, I thought that, that the Panthers would struggle in this one. And I thought Tampa would show some heart and some guts. I mean, all Tampa does since making the Stanley Cup final for 3 straight years, 2020, 2021, 2022, They can't win at home, and they constantly get bounced the last few years in the first round. So congrats to the Florida Panthers on knocking out the Tampa Bay Lightning. So chance to bring home the Stanley Cup back-to-back years certainly exists, even though I will not bet that or believe in that. Capitals, Alexander Ovechkin. They advance to the second round. No surprise that they take care of business. This is one we got absolutely right in terms of the games, in terms of Washington advancing. Tom Wilson getting it done last night. Ovechkin, tremendous. So Washington able to just blast Montreal by a final score of 4-1. Man, my big upset special just with the juice was taking the Blues, and now I'm singing the Blues instead of Gloria. 3-2. The Jets are leading the Blues in their best-of-7 first-round series. All these games have been relatively competitive, noteworthy for a 1-8 series, but tough to right now go into the crystal ball and truly believe that we are talking about the Blues bouncing back with 3-2 Winnipeg, the current score when you take a look at it. So that is frustrating. We do have some excellent action tonight when it comes to the National Hockey League. And listen, we are pretty fired up about this. Great slate of games. And I'm just telling you right now, I need the Maple Leafs to take care of business, okay? We picked Toronto to win the East. I stand by it. When they were up 3-1, I was ready to, get all sorts of fired up. There's no way that Austin Matthews and Johnny Toronto are going to lose, and the Senators destroyed them. So now the Maple Leafs had a chance to wrap it up at home. They are now, look at that spread. They are a dog tonight in Ottawa, and I'm not going to rip the odds makers. I mean, Toronto, they constantly feel pressure and succumb to the pressure in the postseason. This is not a team that knows how to handle any kind of adversity historically. So, look, I'll bet the Maple Leafs at plus 100, and they got to be able to deal with this at some point. The Senators, please, they are no good. Toronto is supremely talented, so we'll take Toronto tonight to eliminate the fraudulent Senators. And look, nobody wants to see the Ottawa Senators advance. I'm not surprised by that line with the Golden Knights and the Wild. I think the Golden Knights take care of business. I know the series shifts back to Minnesota. But I would think it would be Wild if the Wild got a dub tonight. Golden Knights are just a well-orchestrated hockey club. They do everything right in every single phase. I'll take the Golden Knights tonight, minus 166. Listen, Stars Avalanche has been weird, right? When you think you know, you don't know. Home ice doesn't really mean much. I think Colorado wins tonight. I think Colorado takes care of business. I'll take the Avalanche minus 185 going up against the Stars. And how about the Oilers and my Kings tonight? And when I say my Kings, I mean you take them because they're my Oilers. And we've been screaming Oilers. You got all the haters, the critics, the media elite, the puckheads, the Twitter tough guys. Oh, Adam, you don't know what the hell you're doing. What the hell's going on? Listen, I'm taking the Oilers to win this game. You know, they were left for dead, down 0-2, left for dead on Sunday night when they were losing. Then, bam, had this amazing comeback. Then, bam, Draisaitl in overtime. Oh, the Oilers up 3-2. Oilers tonight, wrapping up, baby, in Edmonton. Let's go. I want Connor McDavid playing for Lord Stanley's Cup, and I want him winning it this time. Oilers tonight, minus 170. So we'll, for tonight, go Maple Leafs plus 100, Golden Knights minus 166, Avalanche minus 185, and the Oilers at minus 170. All right, Howie Roseman, the Philadelphia Eagles, incredible general manager, my SiriusXM radio show today on Mad Dog Sports Radio. And listen, Howie dominated the draft again. I mean, the other name for the draft is really the Howie Roseman Invitational. All this guy does is kick ass, take names. He told me that he had John Campbell from Alabama as a top 10 player in the draft. Obviously, he had the shoulder surgery, so he fell a little bit. Kind of got word that might be the case. After he fell out of the top 10, he started working the phones when you started getting into that 20 range and moved up one spot from 32 to 31, got the guy, and bam, there it is. And not a coincidence they went defense with their first 5 picks. They do have the philosophy of going best player on the board, but certainly they could use, after some defections in the offseason, some depth when it comes to the defense on every single level. And I really think that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be amazing once again. And that over-under win total of 11.5 will take the over. And I can't wait for schedule release coming up in 13 days. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Are we going to sit here on Make It Rain with Adam Schein and pick wins and losses and over-under when we see every single schedule? I mean, you'd have to be an idiot to do something like that. And a related story, of course we will. Time right now to give out our best bets. Best bets are brought to you by G-Bank, the official bank of VSiN. Get the G-Bank Visa signature card today. You know, most credit cards treat the sports book of the gaming transactions as cash advances, but that's even when you put your own money on the card. G-Bank treats the gaming transactions as purchases. So, saving up to 3 to 5% on cash advance fees on gaming transactions right there. Also, with G-Bank, you're earning 1% cash back rewards. All eligible sportsbook and gaming transactions, 2% cash back rewards. All eligible purchases. Apply now, VSiN.com/GBank. VSiN.com/GBank. Our Thursday best bet, we'll go with the cat, the big bodega. Karl Anthony Towns, over 22.5 points, minus 125. You're welcome, America and Canada. Stay tuned to VSiN after Make It Rain for Follow the Money. Mitch and Paulie, they are warming up in the bullpen. Steve Willis is going to join him on the show today, give out his best bets in the Premier League. Really looking forward to that. Then, right after Follow the Money, it's going to be a VSiN prime time starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Then stick around for Cashing Out, 11 p.m. Eastern, all night long. Thanks to Larry and Matt and our guy Sean in the Vegas control room. Thanks to Dez and Alex as well. Our incredible producer, the great Mike Cohen. We'll talk to you mañana. Make it rain with Adam Schein.